Hello, Stacy here with Limelight AZ. Wanted to not do an update. I considered doing the update because I could probably do it today. It's Friday afternoon, not quite sunset yet. But we decided to move my Sting days from what we were doing previously to Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So I think I'm gonna wait until we are done doing Sting for the week and just do my update on Sunday. But I wanted to share something really cool with you guys. So as you know, I've been bedridden. I have been exclusively bedridden since about June, I think it was. So going into 7 months of being exclusively bedridden. I was pretty much bedridden prior to that, from January when things really hit for me. But I, the big issues that I've had with the Lyme physically are, of course, the muscle loss and the pain. And the pain is pretty much gone. I mentioned that in my update video. I mean, I have got pain in my hands in particular, but it's not it's not that continual, like, oh, I've got to get through another day. I've got to get through another day where you just are feeling like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this day again? Wake up again and you're like, oh my gosh, this is my life. Just constant pain, that stopped. I don't have that just constant pain anymore. Getting bumped accidentally doesn't cause like this cascading event in my body that has me in tears, both from physical pain and from feeling like I've gone through a traumatic event. And that was one of the things I found most peculiar about the Lyme when it hit. It was like somebody would bump me, and I mean, there was an occasion, I think it was probably February, before we figured out what was going on with me. And my daughter had come to visit, and she's a fidgeter. She tends to fidget and move around, and she was sitting across from me on the couch, and I had at that point been pretty much steering clear of everybody. She bumped me, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she is thinking I'm overreacting, and she's like, sorry. I'm like, okay, now keep in mind this is an adult, okay? So this isn't just a little kid, but an adult. She was 21 at the time. And she fidgets some more. She's talking to me, and she bumps me. And I'm just like, I look at her like, come on, knock it off. And she fidgets some more a little bit later and bumps me again. And I am just like, you've got to stop doing that. I got mad at her. And because every time she bumped me, it was really, really painful. And she got mad back because I was getting mad at her. And that shouldn't happen. When you have Lyme disease, you shouldn't have, a person shouldn't have to do that. Shouldn't have to be like, just accidentally getting bumped and not even really have that hard of a hit and react in a way that they're like, you've got to stay away from me because you are hurting me. We're talking about just little knocks, things that should not hurt at all. And it was excruciating. And then as time went on from there, it just got worse and worse and worse. I have a friend that was here, visiting, here in our home, visiting, one day when I got bumped. And it was one of those bad ones. And it was I just recoiled back and was in tears. And and she was just like, wow, she's described it a couple of times since. Anyway, so she describes it from her perspective in like wow, you must be in a lot of pain to be reacting that way, Like, we're talking instinctual reaction. We're not even talking like, hey, you hit me and I didn't like that. It's like, severe pain. Well, that stopped. I can get bumped. Baby climbs all over me now. The worst part of my body at this point is my hands. They still hurt when I try to use them in a way that they're not liking. My My fingers don't bend real well, and they're still quite stiff. But I'm having mornings where I'm waking up and it's just not really that painful in my hands, you know. I don't wake up thinking about my hands when I wake up. Those days are still pretty infrequent, but they do happen. That happened this morning. I was up for a couple of hours before I realized I didn't really think about my hands this morning. So for the most part, most of the pain has subsided, and could not be more thankful. Oh my gosh, I am just so thankful. Well, I wanted to share this with you because last night I was laying here and my toddler, who's 21 months, was just so cute. She was just behaving so funny, and she's just got such a great personality. And one of the fun things to do with toddlers is to tackle them and wrap your arms around them and not let them escape and nuzzle them and just tickle them. And that's something I haven't been able to do with her. I have poked at her and tickled her a little bit with my hands, but with my hands being achy or hurting if they get bumped or fingers bent back or anything like that, then I don't, so I tend to not do that too often. Well, I realized last night that I have enough strength in my arms, I could probably keep her from escaping. So this is what we did. What are you doing? Give me a kiss. I love you. You want more? 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 Okay. Okay.